Hi guys. So it's extremely hot out here. Oh my freaking god. I gotta be careful. Sugar dissolves in heat. So I want to talk to you about what men have said about situationships, friends with benefits, that kind of thing. Okay. This is coming from men. Women don't argue. You cannot argue with what someone said. I mean, regards to how they feel about a certain thing. So listen, all right? This is coming from men, all right? So, men have said, again, this is coming from men. Men have said that situationships do not work for the woman, but it does work for the man. He's getting everything he wants without a commitment, without hard work. It's just funsies, no real commitment. You could see other people, he could see other people, and it's not that big a deal. So it's ideal for a guy because a lot of them, no offense guys, a lot of y'all are obsessed with sex. And I don't know why it's weird. I mean, orgasms are cool and sex is great, but not with the wrong person. And preferably, ideally, waiting until marriage is the ideal way to do it. But a lot of people don't do that. I would have liked to have done that myself. Oh my freaking god, it's hot. Oh my god. Okay, so they said it doesn't work for women, it works for men. And a lot of times, and this is coming from men, okay? I'll try to remember to put the clip in the description. A lot of times women will continue to do this because they're hoping to change his mind. If I keep being intimate with him, he'll change his mind. We'll have a relationship. He'll fall in love with me and this and that and the other. They also talked about how the woman, well, either one of them could catch feelings, even though in the beginning you said, this is going to be fun only. And you both agreed to it. But somebody could catch feelings regardless, okay? It's just it's basically, like I said, fun for the man. It's a colossal waste of your time as a woman because there could very well be someone out there who wants to give you a real relationship, real feelings. Not based on playtime, but actually wants to see something in you that's different from what he's ever seen in other women. And he may be waiting in the wings for you, or you have an opportunity to eventually meet this man, but you're not going to meet him if you are messing around with this person and basically having funsies and wasting time, because it is a waste of time if you eventually want something more. What else did the guy say? That, the woman will try to talk him out of it. We get along so well. Maybe we should consider a relationship. And again, this is coming from the men. The men said, we're not going to change our mind on that. If we said in the beginning that's just going to be fun, it's going to be just fun. You can't talk him into it. Try to persuade him to change his mind. He's not. There may be a 1% chance, a tiny, chance that he may change his mind, but the chances of that are pretty slim. Pretty freaking slim. So there is a lady, I always forget her name, one of my subbies. If you remember her name, tell me, because I forget every time. It starts with an F. I don't know if her name is Phoebe or I don't remember her name, but she's African and her husband is white. She's black, well, African, and her husband is from, I don't remember which country, but even though she has been in intimate relationships in the past, when she met him, she knew she didn't want to mess it up with sex. She wanted to wait until they got married, and they did. Was he thrilled? Probably not. He's a man. He alluded to that on one of her videos. He was in the background saying, like, yeah, I had to wait. But he loved her enough to stay with her. He loved her enough to say, you're going to be worth the wait. He didn't cry about it. He didn't bitch about it. He didn't try to emotionally blackmail her. He did not do any of the sort. He knew he wanted her long term. He wanted her potentially forever. And so whatever, if you want to wait until we're married, then I'm going to go with that. He respected her wishes is basically what I'm getting at. He respected her wishes. She said, knees to the ceiling do not really benefit you. In other words, being intimate with a man doesn't really benefit you, especially in a situation where it's friends with benefits. So, it's just basically a colossal waste of time. It really is. It's a colossal waste of time for both of you if neither one of you don't change your mind. Neither one, like both of y'all, you both agree this is how it's going to be from now on, and I can't get jealous of what you do with other people because we're not in a relationship, etc., vice versa. It's a waste of time because there is somebody out there who you could actually be with, and they want you in a long-term relationship, not just for a couple of nights or whenever they're feeling hot. They actually want a future with you, and someone who respects you as a human being and wants you forever, potentially forever. They're going to respect that you don't want to do that. They're not going to try to talk you into it. They're not going to bend your mind. They're not going to try to talk you out of it. Someone who tries to talk you out of it is disrespectful and only cares about what they want, not what you want. And that's not somebody you want long term, because they're trying to convince you to do something you don't want to do. And a person who genuinely cares about you is not going to do that. They're going to be like, okay, I get it. I mean, I respect your wishes. I hope you change your mind. But if you don't, I get it. And I'm going to respect that because I know that's how you really feel. And, that was just so interesting how she put it. Knees to the ceiling. That's just not... Yes, she's been down that road in relationships before, but she realized that doesn't strengthen your relationship necessarily. It also doesn't give you the opportunity to know that if and when you become, you get into a serious relationship with somebody, not a friends with benefits, but an actual real relationship, if you put physical into it, you'll never know if those are real feelings that are from your heart or those are feelings mixed with hormones, and because y'all are good in bed with each other, you think you're deeper in love than you actually are. When you take the sexual off the table, completely off the table, and you fall in love, you know that that's really from your heart and your soul deep within who you are. It's not based on, physical and feelings. It's based on real feelings, if that person's capable of real feelings, because a lot of people aren't. A lot of people are not. So there's another thing I wanted to address, because this is going to be a two-parter and I'm going to get going. Another thing I wanted to address was someone was talking about on a video why women of color, they say black women, but it's really women of color, period. But the topic was mostly black women, why they are more likely to be unalived, why there's so much violence towards them in regards to black men in particular, treating them horribly. And they give, because they're on camera, they give the typical clinical reasons. Well, it depends on, unresolved issues, and it depends on whatever reason she gave. I tuned them completely out because none of those are real reasons. That's what you say because it sounds proper on camera. The real reason that they're so hateful is because of how they were raised. I've said this before, how a lot of guys are raised. They are catered to, their asses are kissed, they don't have rules, they don't have curfews. There's exceptions, we're not talking about the exceptions. They are given too much free reign. Mothers will give the excuse that, well, he doesn't have a curfew because he can't get pregnant. Hey, dummy, he could get someone else pregnant. Duh. Do you want to deal with that? Do you want her parents calling you, hey, your son knocked up my daughter? Okay, what are we going to do about that? Your son, especially since they worship sex so much, they idolize sex. Their pecker is the most important thing in the whole universe. Your son could get somebody knocked up. That's not an excuse to give him no curfew. That's stupid. Anyway, move right along. It's nature versus nurture. It is their environment is because they're abused or neglected or overindulged. All three categories can cause boys to grow up narcissistic. That is the real reason. And like I've said before, because a lot of them are on the down low. Look at the video with Sean Diddy Combs, where he beat the hell out of that girl. He was kicking her when she was down and everything. And Kim, the mother of his children, he used to whoop on her too. You know why? Because there's a strong possibility he's living a lie. There's been rumors that there's multiple celebrities, black men, who are not straight. Not straight. And they resent women. And they're angry towards women because I have to play straight with your ass when I really want to live my life and do what I want to do. But I can't because I'm in a public eye and I don't know how my fans are going to take it, how my family's going to take it. Is that going to impact my career? Am I going to lose friends? I have to live this lie and I don't want to live this lie. So I'm going to take out my anger and frustration on you. And like I said before, a lot of them hate their own mothers because they have unresolved issues with their mothers. So they take that anger and aggression out on the women that they're involved with. They take that anger out on them. The women that you're involved with, they didn't do nothing to you. And here's another dynamic. They have unresolved issues with their mother. In addition to, they feel obligated to have a relationship with her because she's my mother. I don't like her. I hate her guts. I hate what she put me through with her toxic ass boyfriends or my stepfather or father or whatever. She put me through pure hell and I can't stand her, but I have to have a relationship with her because she's my mother. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you do not. You don't owe her shit. You do not owe her because she got hot and had you. You don't owe a woman for that. Don't listen to your toxic ass family say, oh, you can't turn your back on her. She did everything in the world for you. You're right. And she caused him to be psychologically severely damaged. Don't listen to your family because they're dysfunctional too. Truth be told, a lot of them are dysfunctional too. The dysfunction's not usually with one person in the family. A lot of times the whole family is dysfunctional. I sever ties so that I can not keep getting sucked into the black hole that they enjoy being in. I'm not going to play mind games with you, verbal word salad, and all this, laying guilt on me for something I didn't even do. Look here, no. Snip, 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 you're out. I don't need this shit off you, and I don't owe you nothing. We're biologically connected, and that is where the line is drawn. That's it. So, but when you see the video, y'all can see it online, I'm sure. Sean he ran out. They're in a hotel. There's other people that can hear this. He don't care. He's running around with a towel on, and beating on her, kicking on her, and on camera. He don't care. The rage that he has inside of him, he's got to get that addressed. Well, he's in a lot of trouble now anyway with the feds and everything else, and his house has been raided, and it's just been a lot of possible sex trafficking that he's been involved with and all of that. And this, I don't know how deep this is going to go, but it's just really bad for him. And it's high time. He's done a lot of evil. Quit it. He's done a lot of evil. And it's finally turning around and biting him on the butt. Behave. You know what I mean? It's finally, all the evil and the dirt he's done, it's finally catching up to him. That's what I call karma. That's what I call karma. But when you're physical with somebody that you marry, that physicality is a gift that you give to your husband and you give to your wife on the night that you get married or the day that you get married, whatever the case is. That's a gift that your spouse is supposed to have. That alleviates a lot of problems when you wait until till after you're married. Now, are there some downsides? Of course. But that's also grounds for divorce or what is it called? Annulment. Like someone, because you weren't intimate with someone, they might not have been honest with you. They maybe didn't tell you that they were impotent. And they may refuse to go to the doctor. Some guys are like that. I'm impotent, but I'm not going to embarrass myself by going to the doctor. Well, that's just plumb dumb. Doctors know, they know everybody's business that comes up in there. You're not the first person with that issue. Okay, you're probably the 1,000,000th person with that issue. But if you want your pride to stand in the way and prevent you from being intimate with your spouse because you're too embarrassed to go to the doctor, well, you're the one that's going to get an annulment or a divorce. She can't have children. She may want children. She don't want to be celibate in her marriage. She don't want to not have children. And you kept it a secret, so that was deceptive. What else are you being deceptive about? So that's grounds for annulment or divorce. Some guys get married to their wife and they don't reveal that they don't really like sex. Could be that they were shamed and embarrassed because when they were growing up, some families were so dysfunctional that they taught you to think that sex is gross, it's nasty, it's perverted, and you have no business thinking about that unless something's wrong with you psychologically. That can go deep into a person's psyche and mess them the hell up. Which, that could be grounds for annulment or divorce too, unless the person's willing to go to therapy. Problem is, a lot of people aren't willing to go to therapy because they're embarrassed. Do you want your pride to stand in the way of your relationship with your spouse? Pretty sure you don't want that. And I 1000% do not agree with teaching your children that sex is nasty, sex is gross, because that can actually push them to the opposite page where they become either extremely prudish and sex is gross. They're convinced because they were told that how many times? Or they could become extremely promiscuous. Well, I need to know what's so bad about it. And I need to experience as much of it as I can since it's so forbidden. So it could push a person in either direction. I remember, and I talked about this a long time ago. I remember I was shamed growing up. Sex is gross and nasty. And meanwhile, she had little boyfriends on the side and she was doing her thing with them, the mother. So she was a freaking hypocrite of massive proportions, okay? Massive hypocrite. I was determined I wasn't going to do that to kids. Kids that I either babysat or when I was a teacher in school, I would not, like one of my kids, 5-year-olds, I had 5-year-olds at the time, and one of my kids was taking it forever in the bathroom, and I was like, dude, come on, we got other people waiting to use waiting to use the restroom. What are you doing? And he was sitting there having fun with himself, if you know what I mean. We all grown. I don't have to draw you a picture. And I wasn't going to permanently damage him with that by saying, I wasn't going to treat him the way I was treated. Like, your body is gross and nasty, disgusting, and how could you do something so horrible? Because that's twisted. That's twisted to take somebody's brain and try to destroy a natural part of them. It's natural for you to, discover your body and that kind of thing. That's natural. That's normal. It isn't normal to be completely detached from your body and don't ever touch me and don't even look at me because my body is terrible to look at and it's just terrible and I'm a terrible person, and don't mess up somebody's psyche with that shit. So he was doing his thing and I said, Sean, I need you to get finished. So, I need you to wrap it up. We got a line, Everybody needs to use the restroom. I wasn't going to go, oh my God, that's horrible. What is wrong with you? I'm not going to mess him up and he's in a freaking psych ward and it's my fault. No, we ain't doing that. Somebody got to have some sense around here. Okay. You don't shame people for their body and because of desires. You don't shame and embarrass them for that. It could go so deep in someone's psyche and mess them up potentially for the rest of their life. And you just don't. There's no need for it. It's just stupid and it's abusive. So anyway, I was sitting in the sun earlier and the hot was just way too much for me. So I redid the video in the shade because I was like dying. Okay, dying. I want to say one more thing before I go. You guys are awesome. I've had a lot of new subbies recently. And for those of you who are new, if you're watching this video, I want to welcome you to the family. Thank you so much. I do not take any of you for granted. I'm so appreciative of all of you. I don't sit on a high horse. I don't think I'm entitled. I don't sit on a throne. You guys are peasants and I'm a queen. I would never do that. That's not, nobody owes me anything, right? So for those of you who are my subbies and who have been supporting me for a long time, I never not appreciate you. I appreciate you all the time. You guys are amazing and we are better together. All of us are better together. So you guys take care. Much love. And oh my God, it's so freaking warm. I'm coming up on a pool party soon. I'm excited. I think it's next week. So that'll be fun. That'll be totally fun. I always have a good time over there. So yeah. Anyway, you guys take care. Much love. Bye.